Hello and welcome back to week 1 of the Confidence Currency 4-week intensive, lesson 3. Before we begin, I want to make sure that you have printed out the materials that you'll need for today's lesson, as again, these are super vital to your success on the intensive. Now, up until now, you have been taking a lot of time to study your past, but studying and understanding your past is vital to understanding your future and your current present space and not repeating it in the future. And so today we're going to not only wrap up the first week of the intensive, but we're also going to be spending time looking at what has your past experience and your beliefs been from fitness and exercise. Now, I know some of you at the very mention of fitness and exercise are like, ugh, but we're gonna work through it, right? This is important, and as you'll see by the end of this intensive, this is this huge area for potential victory and major confidence currency making. So we're going to take time and really journal through and talk through right now some of these questions that are going to really evaluate what has your past been in that area. So the first thing is describe your past experiences and attempts with fitness and exercise. If you're like me, you've tried a lot of different things. Honestly, I didn't do any fitness or exercise up until the time that I was like 21. And even then it was like a walk. I was the kid who literally, when we were doing like a 1-mile turkey trot in elementary school, would go and try to get other people to just walk the mile with me. And my gym teacher hated me because I'd be like, does anyone else not want to run? Does anybody else just want to walk? They were like, oh my gosh, that girl. So don't think that you're talking to someone who has always loved exercise. I just want you to know right now, that's not me. But think back, what are the various attempts that you have made in your past toward trying to exercise? Maybe you've joined a gym. Maybe you've said, okay, I'm gonna walk every day for 30 minutes. Maybe you tried to train for a 5K. Maybe you completed them. What have all of your different attempts been at fitness and exercise? What are some of the labels, question 2, that you have given yourself when it comes to your history with exercise? Maybe you have said, I just don't like to exercise. I don't like to sweat. I just don't enjoy doing anything with exercise. It's hard. Or maybe you say, hey, I really, really like this type of exercise, but I don't like doing this kind of thing. What are the labels that you've come away with? Maybe it's I'm not a runner, or I don't like group fitness, or I don't like to sweat, or I like to work out at home. What are some of these labels that when you look at your past experience with exercise that you now carry with you today in regards to fitness? Last, what role has shame played in the area of fitness in your life? When you think back to what your life has been like in terms of fitness and exercise, when have you felt ashamed? Maybe it was when all the other kids were running the mile and you were walking. Maybe it was the time that you went into the gym and you just felt like, I do not belong here. Or when you put on workout clothes and you're like, this is just should not be seen in public, right? What are the times that you have felt ashamed when it was time for you to participate in some form of exercise? These are extremely vital things for you to know and come to terms with, because next week we're going to begin confronting those things. But this week we need to unearth them. Now, we're going to go through a few wrap-up and reflection questions that I would like you to think through. And again, I know that a lot of these feel like salt to the wound, but they are so necessary. And as we just wrap up, we want to leave no stone unturned in your history, because if we don't look at it and if you don't recognize it, it's just going to come back to, haunt you in your future. It's just going to continue to sabotage your future attempts. So really, let's leave no stone unturned. So the wrap-up question here, how has looking at your history in these particular areas made you feel? Really, what are the words that come to mind? Do you feel embarrassed? Do you feel ashamed? Do you feel weak? Do you feel strong? What are your feelings as you look back at your history of weight loss? For me, I identified with a lot of those feelings. I just felt like this is just not for me. I felt ashamed. I just felt disgusting. I felt like an undisciplined, person at different times. And so those would have been some of my answers and feelings. And last, what beliefs have you discovered that you have about yourself that you were previously unaware of? I am betting that there have been some beliefs that you never really knew were there until you spent time looking at your history. So it's very valuable that you write these out right now. What are the beliefs that have surfaced as you've examined your history with food, your history with fitness? Have you discovered that you believe that you're just not cut out to be an athletic person, or that you are just not, ever going to be able to say no to desserts, or you're just never going to be able to, stick with a health plan? What are those beliefs that have been underlying there because of your history with fitness and with exercise? Now, let me just say, looking back at all of this, you might be thinking, Tiffany, this is not giving me much confidence currency in my ability to, do anything different with my goals. Why am I doing this? This just makes me feel even worse about myself. It is so valuable because, again, you cannot consistently behave in a manner that's inconsistent with what you believe. And if you don't even know what you believe, well, man, how are you supposed to get a hold of your behaviors? This is why a lot of us are so puzzled when we say, I don't get it. Like, I don't want to be fat. I have decided I'm not going to eat those cookies, but then, darn it, I find myself in the pantry eating the cookies that I actually don't even want to eat because I'm so tired of being in the cycle. Why am I doing the things that I don't want to do? What is this about? And how we're going to figure that out is by identifying what are those beliefs that you have. And those beliefs come from your history and they come from your present. So as we move into week 2, next week, you're going to be spending time really looking at your present relationship with food, your present relationship with fitness. But beyond that, thank goodness, I'm going to start to give you the tools that you need to go ahead and take those beliefs that you have discovered that you had from your past experiences and your present experiences, and know what to do with them so that you don't continue to let them influence your behavior and influence what you're experiencing and derail your goals. So you've made it through week 1. I'm proud of you. This has been a lot of hard work, a lot of ugly work, but it's the work that's necessary if you're going to actually do this thing right and well for the long term. So get ready for week 2. I promise you, it only gets better from here.